वेलकम टू ओडिया ट्यूटर क्लासेस पे तुम इंग्लिश रो सिलेक्टिव सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन वीडियो चैनल रे अपलोड हो ये वीडियो रे तुम ऑब्जेक्टिव रो सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन सब डिस्कस करबा। ये जो पीडीएफ टी देछि पिली ए पीडीएफ रे पाखापाखी 200 क्वेश्चन ऑब्जेक्टिव रे रही पोएट्री प्रोज नॉन डिटेल सब रो क्वेश्चन आंसर तुम पाई जदि क्या ये पीडीएफ दरकार ताहले कमेंट रे जणाओ मु आम टेलीग्राम चैनल रे अपलोड करदेवी तुम सेठू फ्री रे सब पाई। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 व्हाट डज द पोएट थिंक ऑफ ऑल थिंग्स ब्राइट एंड ब्यूटीफुल वाइज एंड वंडरफुल व्हाट हैज बीन डिस्क्राइब्ड एज ग्रेट एंड स्मॉल creatures who made all things and creatures the Lord God. What has God given to the little flowers? Glowing colors. What has God given to the little bird? Tiny wings. Where, according to the poet, do we find ripe fruits? In the garden. Where do we see tall trees? In the greenwood. What do people do in the meadows? Play. What do we call an open area of grassland? Meadow. What, according to the poet, grow by the water? The rushes. Details रे बिले सब क्वेश्चन तुम एथि पाई जिवो। C.F. Alexander belonged to Ireland. C.F. Alexander is a famous hymn writer and poet. The poem All Things Bright and Beautiful is included in Hymn for Children. C.F. Alexander says that all things are bright and beautiful. We dash in the meadows, play. A meadow is an open area of grassland. The dash grows by the water, rushes. Variety of waterside plants are called rushes. The rushes are used for making mats and basket. The poet says that we gather dash every day. Rushes. The meadows look dash green. The rushes grown by the water. We see the dash in the greenwood tall trees. पिले चेष्टा करिबा आमे 10 रु 15 मिनिट भितरे से 200 क्वेश्चन प्रैक्टिस करिबा को। क्वेश्चन नंबर 24 which country did G.L. Fuentes belongs to? Mexico. What was the only one in the entire valley? Lencho's house. What was flowing by the low hill? The river. What was dotted with flowers? The field of ripe corn. When did Lencho look at the sky in the northeast direction? In the morning. Now we are really going to catch some water. Omen. Who is the omen here? Lencho's wife. What did the large hailstone resemble? New silver coin. What did the boys collect when hailstones began to fall? The frozen fields. I hope it passed quickly. What does it refer to? The hailstones. How long did the hailstorm continue? For an hour. बहुत ही डिटेल्स रे पिले ए वीडियो रे सब क्वेश्चन तमर रही परीक्षा पूर्व तुम 5 मिनिट ए वीडियो को देकी थरे देखिकी जाइथाओ पिले देखिबो सियोर किछि क्वेश्चन तुम एग्जाम रे तुम पाई जिवो। What was totally destroyed due to hailstorm? Corn. What can see everything when what is deep in one's conscience? God's eyes. How was Lencho working in the field? Like an animal. तामने ox परि से काम करुथिला। How much money did Lencho need? 100 pesos. Where did postmaster tap the letter? On his desk. Who opened Lencho's letter to God? The postmaster. What did postmaster stick to? His resolutions. God sees what is deep in one's conscience. Lencho began to write a letter to God at desk on the following Sunday. Daybreak. The synonym of upset is disturbed. The antonym of drape is reveal, unwrap. People say no one dies of hunger. According to Lencho, plague of death would have left more than this locust. What was overflowing with the sound of the song? The profound or deep valley. Play to tomorrow solitary rapper question start ही गला. What was the valley like? Deep and widespread. What sort of song was the rapper singing? A sad or melancholy song? Comment रे जणैलो पिले melancholy song माने कोन? Whose welcome notes are greeted by tired travelers? The nightingales. Where is the shady haunt? Among the Arabian desert. When does the cuckoo sing? In springtime. The solitary rapper was singing a melancholic or sad song. Dash are the weary bands, the tired travelers. The cuckoo's song broke the silence of the seas. The nightingale is famous for its sweetness or melodious voice. The melody of the bricks is breaking the silence of the seas. Cuckoo. The word in the poem denotes that the rapper is unmarried. Option B, maiden. A question टी पिले बहुत ही important star mark मु सेति पई करिदेली. At what time was the gymnastics held? At 4 o'clock. What deceived Gandhi? The clouds. What was Gandhi convicted of? Lying. What proved a harder task for Gandhi? Sanskrit. What was the Persian teacher like? Lenin. Gandhi was the son of a Vaishnava father. Krishna Shankar Pandya was Gandhi's Sanskrit teacher. Honey child, whither are you going? What does whither means? Where? What do you mean by breezes? Gentle wind. What is blowing in the poem village song? Champa, birds. What do you mean by blowing in the poem village song? Blooming. Which place is frequently visited by coals? River Isles. What does the mother want her daughter to enjoy? Sandal-scented leisure. Where are the bridal robes? In the loom. Where are the bridal cakes? On the hearth. The poem Village Song is written by Sarojini Naidu. How many states does Northeast India comprises? 8 states. Which Northeast state is not figured in the tag the land of seven sisters? Sikkim. How is Sikkim separated from the Northeast? By Siliguri corridor. Which state in Northeast India has accepted itself as a little brother of seven sisters? Sikkim. What is the other name of Magh Bihu? Bhogali. What is Manipur's New Year festival? Cheroba. What is Spring Festival in Mizoram? Chapcharkut. Who celebrated Wangla in the villages of Meghalaya? The Garosh. How many deities are placed in Puran Havli? 14 deities. Sikkim is not a contiguous part of the Northeast region. Geographically, the Northeast region of India is place of diverse cultures. Is the New Year festival in Manipur. Cheruba. Chapcharkut is the festival. Spring. Is the 100 drum festival. Wangala. Mark the Tibetan New Year. Losar. Is the festival of light in Sikkim. Tihar. The flower school is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Bring rain in June. Storm clouds. The moist east wind marches over the heath. When did the industrial accident takes place at Bhopal? 3 December 1984. From where did the deadly gas escape into the atmosphere? A chemical plant operated by Union Carbide. How many local residents were killed due to industrial accident at Bhopal? 4,000. How much food does an average adult consume a day? 1.5 kg. What do you mean by contaminated food? Impure food. देखो पिले 10 मिनिट रु कम समय मध्यरे आमे 100 प्लस क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करिदेलेनी. Acetylene contains oxides of along with other chemicals, sulfur and nitrogen. In Sweden, leaks have been poisoned due to acetylene. 400. Acetylene leaches away from the upper layer of the soil. Nutrients. Acetylene poisons aquatic plants and animals. The pied flycatcher and Apollo butterfly are threatened by acetylene in Sweden. Smoke plus fog is equal to smog. Krakow is a town of Poland. Carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide are inviting global warming. Air pollution represents a loss of billions of every year. Dollars. Acetylene poisons plants and animals that live in water. Vicky's motto was no pain, no gain. Vicky's love for was true and great. His parents. In college, Vicky glanced secretly at Lauren. Vicky's heart thawed at the sight of Lauren. Vicky went to his friend's house on a wet rainy day or monsoon day मध्ये exam रे थाई पारे. The word mundane means ordinary. Vicky's brilliant brain is shifting in a formalin jar with disdain. What should we make for hard times provision? What should we avoid in our leisure hour? Idling. Avoid anything that will your dash health sap. Smoking in one's youth dash the body stunt. Smoking the dash brain clouds. One should be dash in all things temperate. In our leisure hours, we should avoid merry idling. Dash you will be known by the company you keep to a large extent. A hobby, amusement, game, or pastime is called recreation. If you are forced to take it will last for a short time job. Gambling is a mean game. The Pro's school's goodbye conveys a message to student. Make provision for hard times. Fill your leisure hours with hobbies, good books, and with all the above, reading good books, making companionship, interesting hobbies. You will be known by the test you give company. तुम्हारा नॉन डिटेल पिले एटू स्टार्ट होगला. हाउ मेनी एलिफेंट्स वेर देयर फॉर द शिकारी? 4. हाउ मेनी एलिफेंट्स वेर स्पेशली ट्रेन्ड फॉर टेकिंग पार्ट इन द बीट? 11. तामाने टोटल एलिफेंट 15टी थिले. व्हाट डिड द स्पोर्टमैन नेवर सी ड्यूरिंग द हंटिंग एक्सपेडिशन? ए टाइगर. What were they beginning to shoot, giving off all hope of finding a tiger? Jackal. How long was the tiger cub when it was discovered? 18 inches. Who was Mahmoud, the author's cook? What was your first diet for Timothy at home? Milk. What was the tempting diet for Timothy? Pigeon and rabbit. Who was Toto, a monkey? Who was bold enough to pull Timothy by the tail? Toto. Where was the nearest zoo? At Lucknow. How far was the zoo from Dehra? 200 miles. The tiger cub Timothy was discovered by a grandfather. The hunting party consisted of several very important persons from Delhi. At first, Timothy was afraid of mongrel puppy. Timothy pretended to bite the writer's ankle. Who is the writer of the story The Beggar? Anton Chekhov. Who was Sergei, an advocate? How were the beggar's eyes? Dull and drunken. In which province had he got a position? Kaluga. Where was the beggar working as a singer? Russian corps. Where did the pseudo teacher sit himself? On a log. What did Olga flying at beggar's feet? An ox. How much did the beggar earn for the first time? Half a ruble. The beggar was hungry for 3 days. The poor man needed 5 kopecks for lodging. Sergei had met the beggar in Dash at first. Shadowpia street wood. Sergei called Dash out of the kitchen his cook. The name of the cook was Olga. There were Dash on the beggar's cheek. Red spot. This is punishment for his deception. Who said this? Juman. Who was Samjo Shahu? A merchant. What did Samjo Sahu have? An ikka. What did Samjo carry to the town every day? Ghee and sugar. Money does not grow on trees here. Dash said it. Juman. The aunt threatened to call for a Dash Panchayat. What did the old peasant feel with his hands? The grain. How did the grandfather speak distinctly? The traveler sold the thing to the king as a curiosity. The traveler bought the thing from the children for a penny. The king asked the old peasant Dash questions. 2 questions. The old peasant was rather hard of hearing. There was a in the middle of the corn hole. What was the only thing that man called his own? Liver. Who was toothless, old, bent and ashy pale and walked with 2 crutches? The son. A video last question pili. Who walked without any crutch? The grandfather. जदि ए भिडियोर पीडीएफ तुमको दरकार ताहले कमेंट रे जणाओ. आम टेलीग्राम चैनल रे जॉइन होइसिबो. फ्री रे तुमको पीडीएफ सेठी मिलि जिवो. भिडियोटी को लाइक करि दियो एवं तम सब सांग मानक सह शेयर करि दियो.